Hey folks, welcome back. So what we're going to see in this video, in this video I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the grant work that we've had done and basically show you what's been done. So there's not a great deal of content in this one just because all the work that's been done within this has been done via an external company which do the grants work. So currently in the UK, if your home doesn't meet certain energy efficiency rating, there's grants out there to help with that. So we applied and we were lucky enough to be accepted, and we got a number of things done. So it's all stuff that I would have been doing anyway, but luckily, we managed to get approved on this grant scheme. So what did that look like? So we had an old back boiler. I think I might have explained that in a previous video, or not. I'm not sure, but you'll see all that in this one anyway. But we had an old back boiler that was like at least 30-40 years old. We can't be sure exactly when, but with that, the efficiency was something like 60% when it was brand new, and as I said, that was 30-40 years ago at least. So they reckon it was probably less than 40 or even 30% efficiency. And it was costing us, like, over the winter period, I don't exaggerate when I say this, it was costing us £60+ a week in gas. And that was like just heating the house in the evenings and literally for a couple of hours in the morning, and the odd, well, not the odd, sorry, and daily showers. So yeah, a lot of money, as you can imagine. It's like, nearly £250 a month, probably sometimes more. So yeah, so we were very lucky. We got the boiler changed, and we had the external walls cavity insulated. Not cavity, sorry, external wall insulation. I call it cavity wall insulation because that's what it used to be, but they don't do that anymore because actually your cavities are there for a reason, and filling them with insulation actually causes more problems. Although it keeps your house warm, it actually creates more damp and things like that. So yeah, so I'll show you all that. And we got the loft insulated, so the floor of the loft insulated. Again, you'll see that coming up. So yeah, primarily new boiler, which were, a massive saving for us, massive saving. And the external walls insulated, which makes a massive difference in terms of keeping the warmth in and the cold out. And obviously the loft, now the loft, as you're aware, is being converted, and it's a case of that insulation is just going to help towards that conversion, as well as keeping the house warm. We are down for radiator controls, so some new digital thermostat type controls that go on your radiators. I don't know too much about them yet. We're meant to have had them put in by now, but there's been some delay in getting them in or something, so we're still waiting on them to be fitted. But yeah, everything else has been done, and I can show you. And then there's 2 extractor fans been put in, one in the bathroom, one in the kitchen. Again, this is all to help with airflow control. And we've had what's called trickle vents put in the windows. Now in terms of airflow, great thing, fantastic, can't knock it. My only issue with them is that we live quite close to a motorway, and it's a case of they are letting a lot of noise in. Sorry about that. I did tell people I was filming. They must not have heard me. Started shouting me in the middle of recording. So yeah, where was that? Yeah, so the trickle vents, they're a great thing, brilliant for airflow. But as I say, They are letting a lot of noise in, but eventually we do want to change the windows and doors anyway, so hopefully that'll help them. We'll put up with that for now. Honestly, that's the only negative, but you know, for what we've got, you cannot complain. It's fantastic, it's brilliant. It's saved us a great deal of money. It's helped massively with the house, and yeah, so if anyone wants to look into that, what I'll do, I'll put a link into the description of the company we used. So yeah, so in terms of the video, like I said, this isn't my work, it's all external work, so there's not a great deal of footage. Some of the lads didn't mind the videoing, some obviously would rather not, so you know, and I didn't want to get in the way either. And a lot of the time they was in, I was out at work, so yeah, again, so not a great deal of footage. There's bits of footage of me and kids doing a bit of wallpaper stripping and things like that. So yeah, it's not very detailed this, but it's an important part of the overall renovation, and it's been a massive help. So I'll let you watch that footage now, and I will check back in with you at the end of the video. Wall insulation going in. So here we are. I'll just start out by saying that, as you can see there, that's the skylight that's currently in, and that was boxed off and it went down and into the room below, so you can't see that temporary piece of plasterboard I've put in, because obviously it's been, we've since had people in insulating the floor, which I wanted to film, but the lads weren't right keen on it, so I didn't get to film that. So I've just shown you the before and after, which you've just seen. So yeah, all the floor is now insulated. This 3x2 that you can see under my feet is the 3x2 that was put in for the floor of the room as it was at the beginning. The original joists are actually on them 3x2, so all this 3x2 is going to come out and then it's going to sit on 6x2. So loads of 3x2 there. I hate wasting stuff. It's good clean timber, so it just needs denailing, and then some of that's going to get used, and then all the loft boards are under there as well, so they're going to get reused. So with the boiler, what's going to happen is the old back boiler is going to come out, which is like 40% efficiency at the minute. Apparently it was 60 when it was brand new, which could have been 30, 40 years ago. It's hard to tell. But yeah, that boiler's coming out and a brand new combi boiler's going in, which is going to be like 90% efficiency. So hopefully save some money on the gas, because we all know that at the minute, don't we, with these energy bills. So yeah, so some good work going on. So just let me flip the camera and I will show you what I mean, for those that don't understand the back boiler. So yeah, for those that don't know, a back boiler is basically a boiler that sits behind an old fire in the chimney. So you can probably just about make the pilot light out in the back there, that blue bit. So yeah, this, as you can probably tell with the looks of this, essentially that's the boiler down the back of there. So yeah, that's going to come out. The old heating controls are going to come out. So the way it works at the minute, if I want hot water, I've got to turn the hot water on and let it heat up into a cylinder upstairs, which I'll show you in a minute. And again, with the heating, it's on or it's off. There's no thermostat, there's no control in the heating temperature other than with the little dials that you get on the radiators. But again, that's not right clever. So just give me a second, I'll pause the video and I'll be back with you in a sec. Yeah, so here we are. For anyone that doesn't know what a back boiler is, I've just kind of explained that. Part of the heating system is a header tanker. So what happens if that fills up with warm water and it gets stored in there? But if that's empty, then potentially you're waiting over an hour for warm water. So if you want a bath or a shower, washing up, you've got to wait for that to heat up. So as you can imagine, not very good. In its day, when these were a new thing, that were fantastic, you know, because people were using coal fires to boil the water and whatnot. So yeah, fantastic in its time, but unfortunately way beyond where we're at now. So all this is coming out, and because I'm not doing this job, it won't be filmed. So I'm just showing you beforehand what's here. So this cupboard will come out, but this is where the boiler's going to go, the new boiler. So the combi boiler will sit here, and that'll be instant water, instant hot water should I say, as well as heating with a thermostat. So modern heating, and it'll save us a fortune on gas. So I'll leave the video here, and then the next part of the video will be when the new boiler's in. See you then. So now that you've seen all that, I will talk you through a bit exactly what took place. First I'm going to start off with the external wall insulation. I'm going to talk you through that. What I'll do, I'll just flip the camera. I'm only going to show you one wall just because they're all the same. It seems pointless me going filming each wall and telling you about them all because they're all essentially the same thing. So basically any wall that's external has had the same work done to it. So 4 walls in total, the 2 downstairs front and back, and the 2 upstairs front and back. Sides haven't been done just because we're connected to other properties on each side, so they weren't needed. So yeah, I'll flip the camera and I'll talk you through this one, and as I say, 4 have been done, all the same. So you could see the work that was going on in the previous clips, and this is kind of the finished product. I'm gonna match this up so that it all flows as one, but because of the funding, they're only allowed to do the exact external bit, which, to be honest, the external bit actually comes to about here, and that's where they had to do it. But like me, they understood that it would have been silly to do it to there. So yeah, they've come to end, but I'm gonna match all that in. So yeah, what they do is they batten the wall. I think it's 4-inch battening with like foam insulation that runs through the middle of it, and then they put 100mm insulation all the way through, so that full wall, including the other 3, has got 100mm insulation behind it, which obviously keeps the warmth in and the cold out. You have to excuse all the windows because we had to take all the curtain rails down for this work, so all the windows are currently like this, so we look like nobody lives here. As you can see, you know, the window sills come quite out, as well as the entire wall. So obviously you are losing a bit of space, but for what you're getting from it, it saves you a great deal. And they board it and skim it, so it's a nice clean finish. New sills. Yeah, so they do normally replace the skirting board, which is there, but I told them to leave it off because I'll be changing them all anyway. So yeah, that's kind of it. I'd already chased out, as you've seen in previous videos, so again, any lights or sockets, they replace like for like. So they don't interfere with your electrics, they just replace the fronts, just bring them out. But because I'd already chased out, they kindly put a single in for me there, which it would have been anyway. And again, further down there, there's a double, which I'd put in. So yeah, so that's the external walls. Oh, one bit I don't think I told you about in the introduction is that the loft was insulated. Now, as well as the loft, they've also done this kitchen void because it's a peaked roof above here, so obviously there's a void above the ceiling. So yeah, they put a loft hatch in here and insulated all this as well, so all that's been insulated with the hatching. So yeah, so that's kind of the insulation work. Oh, that sun's a bit bright. Yeah, I'm gonna just pause the video and take you to the front window where there's no sun, because I want to show you the trickle vents. But before I do the trickle vents, actually, that's one of the Extractor fans I was talking about. They have to surface mount the cables, but when I come to do the rewire, all them surface mounts will be gone. But yeah, so that's one of them, and then there's one in the bathroom for the airflows. So yeah, that's that bit. Give me a second, then I'll take these to the front window. So again, as I was trying to show you before, these are the trickle vents. So they just sit on the edge of your window like that and open and close. So obviously we have them open, so that allows the airflow to flow throughout the house. And they do a great job, but as I said, the only downfall for us is, I don't know if you can see up there, but basically end of the street up here, basically the motorway runs along there, and you can hear it. It's Sunday morning at the minute, so it's fairly quiet, but when you get busy periods you can hear it. That's the only downside to them. So yeah, moving on. So as you seen in a clip earlier, there was a header tank, if it's called a header tank, if that's right, cylinder that kept all the hot water in. And I did originally want the boiler here, but it made more sense to put it in the loft, so that's where it is. So I'll show you. So yeah, that's the cupboard that was here, all ripped out. So again, opens this landing space up a bit. So when I come to do the stuff that I've talked about previously, where this room here is going to come across and stuff, it'll, again, every little bit helps. It just opens everything up. So yes, that's the cupboard out. Nice new shiny copper. I'll just pause the video again and I'll take you up into the loft to show you the boiler. So folks, here we have the nice new shiny boiler. So it's been put up in the loft, apparently just for space and ease of access for the flue and stuff. That's gonna be where it has to live, which is a bit of a nuisance for me with the loft conversion, but it's not gonna cause a major issue. But it has took a bit of space up that I didn't want, but I was told that essentially this is the only place it could go. It could have gone where I suggested in that cupboard, but it would have meant this flue coming up and zigzagging round all over the place here, which would have took up more room than what that does. So personally, I couldn't understand why the flue couldn't go straight up, but apparently it's got to be so far away from the chimney. So yeah, but again, can't complain for what we've got. It's fantastic. So these are just little gripes in my own head, but they're not issues really. So yeah, all this pipe work, again, all looks well, looks really good. But again, I've realised the nick up, and again, no fault of theirs. It's just something I should have explained really. Because of the loft conversion, they're going to be right in the way of the new floor. So I've got a quote off a friend to come and drop the pipe work lower so that it'll sit under the new floor rather than at that height. So yeah, so although that is a nice clean finished job, it is going to have to get rectified. Again, not rectified in the sense that it's wrong, it's just rectified as in it's in my way. So yeah, so I'm gonna obviously have to get somebody in to relocate them pipes. But yeah, so yeah, the grants, fantastic thing, you know, and as I say, saved me a great deal of money. So these extra little bits, like having to pay for that and that, I really can't complain because I've saved a great deal of money. So yeah, that's the boiler. Which I also must add is over 90% efficient. So again, I'm yet to see the bill outcome and what the difference is. Hopefully I can update you on that at a later date. Just before we finish, that's the bathroom extractor as well, so exact same as the one in the kitchen. It's just that this one's wall mounted instead of ceiling mounted, and again surface trunking, which is a bit unattractive, but they're not allowed to go chasing walls and stuff out. But again, I can amend that when I do the rewire. So there we have it folks, that's this video for you. Again, sorry there's not been a great deal of content other than me waffling at you, but it's very important work and it's great work, and we have been so lucky to, you know, be approved for the grant. So this isn't a paid promotion, but I do want to give a shout out to Eco Giants at Clitheroe, for them and their staff and all the great work they've done for us. Obviously, you know, for the Warm Home grant, it's fantastic. So yeah, I'll put a link below for their website. If anyone wants to go and have a look at it, you know, feel free. There's no harm in filling it out and seeing if you get approved. So I haven't looked into the full details, I'll be honest with you, about what makes you approved and what doesn't approve. It asks you a number of things on there, like your employment status. So obviously I'm employed, and I'm on an okay salary, you know, so I thought I wouldn't be approved, but it seems I was. Someone mentioned, and again, this were only mentioned to me, so again, I don't know how true this is, but your income does play a part, but the biggest factor is whether your home, the house itself, actually is approved or not approved, not necessarily you, the owner / tenant, whatever. So again, you know, please don't quote me on any of this, because I'm not 100% sure. I was just advised to have a look at it, and I went and looked and was approved. So yeah, someone told me that, because I won't name them, but I was looking at, let's say, one of the UK's largest suppliers for boilers. I didn't have the money to pull out to pay for a new boiler. Again, I've said many times on here, this is a shoestring budget for the work, and I didn't have X amounts of thousands of pounds. I'm just going to sit you on here so it's easier to talk to you. 1 second. Maybe not. So yeah, I didn't have thousands of pounds to pull out for a new boiler. I've got friends in the trades, and you know, I could have got a really good price for the work and a boiler and whatnot, but again, it's having that money up front, and unfortunately I just didn't have that money. So it was just a case of, you know, I was going to go to this, one of the UK's leading boiler suppliers, because you could pay on a monthly thing, and what would have happened is it'd have been a cracking new boiler, everything that we need, but it would have been about £140 a month over 5 years, which is a good deal of money. Yeah, and you know, there's much cheaper options out there if you've got the money up front, which unfortunately I didn't, so that was the only option at that time. But then luckily someone said to me, whoa, what are you doing before you do that? Have a look at, you know, Eco Giants. So yeah, so I had a look at them, and luckily we was approved. So, you know, give it a try. If your energy efficiency is rather low, the efficiency is rather low, and you're paying a lot in utility bills, it's worth having a look, you know. Just give it a try. So yeah, so that's it for this video. The next video coming up, there's a good bit of content in that one, because that has actually already been recorded before I finish this outro. So that one's recorded and ready to go. So that should be the week after this one. I know I said I can't guarantee they're going to be weekly, but there will be one next week, because that's edited and ready to go. And then after that, we will just have to wait and see, because we're getting to a stage now where things that aren't costing a great deal of money, that are more my labour, are kind of coming to an end. Well, they're not, there's still other stuff, but I don't want to pull the house to bits and be living in a proper building site. We're already living on a building site essentially, but like a real building site. Like, for example, all these tiles could be coming off and stuff, but I might as well just leave it, because it's nice, it's clean, it's tidy. I might as well leave it till I'm ready to do the bathroom. Same with the kitchen's fully functioning. It is all going to come out at some point, but again, I don't want to start ripping it out just for the sake of ripping it out, because it's something I can be doing. I'd rather wait nearer the time. Not only that, Jodie would kill me. So I must admit, I do talk. Sometimes I say we and the family, which is what it is. Other times I say I or me, because I am the one that's doing the recordings, and the kids well, Mike is not bothered about being on video, but Jess is a little shy, so you might not see her much, and Jodie's a little camera shy, so you might not see her much. So although sometimes these videos may come across like it's just me, it really isn't. It's the whole family. Everybody's, you know, working their socks off behind the camera that you're not seeing. So it really is a family project. Everybody's involved, you know. For those that don't know us, you know, myself and Jodie, we've got 7 children between us, but only 2 left at home. So yeah, we've got a big family, but all the older kids are off doing their own things, you know, so it's just the 4 of us at home now, and you know, we're all mucking in, doing our part. Obviously I'm doing a lot of the physical, heavy, you know, work, and you know, the work that requires tools. I'm the man on the tools, but the kids are just doing what they can, where they can. If I ask them to help me strip wallpaper, as you've just probably seen, you know, they're doing that. Jodie's forever cleaning, you know, she's looking after the kids, you know, she's cooking, she's moving stuff about for me, you know, she's getting stuck in, she's going to start getting involved with some of the filming, so that, you know, she's going to start doing some of the recording for me and stuff like that. So yeah, everybody's getting stuck in, you know, and I couldn't do it without any of them. So it's a proper family project. So although it might come across on screen like it's just me and a single person project, I can assure you it really isn't. We're all stressed, we're all forever bloody caked in dust, you know. We're all playing a part, but we're all going to reap the benefits when it's finished. So when it's finished, it's going to be a nice, fresh, clean home for all of us. So yeah, that's where we're at. So as I say, another video definitely next week, because that's recorded, edited and ready to go. That's the end of this one. I'm sorry it's just been me waffling, but yeah, hope you've enjoyed it, hope you can get something from it. As I always say, please subscribe if you're watching these videos, because it helps me look at the analytics and helps me understand who's watching it where and whether it's beneficial or not. Want to know more about Eco Giants, you can Google them, Eco Giants Clitheroe, or there's other agencies out there and companies that do this sort of work, but I will put a link to their website below. So once again, thanks for watching, really appreciate it. Take care, bye bye. Sorry guys, just as I was editing, I realised something I've not put in. You might remember me saying about the heating, it was either on or it was off. There were no middle ground. It was red hot or it was freezing. Couldn't win. Guess what? We've got a thermostat. You've no idea how magical it is to have one of them. It's surprising, honestly. It sounds so silly, but you can actually control the temperature now. So as you can see, this lovely Sunday morning, it's currently 19.2 degrees. I think it's currently set at 16. That's what we have it on overnight. So yeah, the boiler's not currently burning any gas, thankfully. But yeah, we've got a thermostat. Excellent. Bye.